we got some things done. We got CJ on the floor for a long time, 25 minutes, and get the rust off of him a little bit. Get more experience for Millen and Penova and Alex without Terrence and Ryan here. So all in all, wasn't bad. You always want to win by more and do better things. The reason I always say that, Luke didn't score, and Luke has, when you're in the medical field and you got finals, it gets tough. And then to come out and he's probably not pumping himself up thinking things will go good. It's a hard game to play, but we had a good crowd, I thought, for the students being out. And CK Band was great. Enjoyed it, and they were fun to watch. We still got our little ROTC guys out there screaming and yelling, so it's a good Christmas. My dad celebrated or getting ready to celebrate, or celebrate just a little early, but I'm sure he's going to be there when it happens. 103, and all my family came in town, and shoot, I'm loving it. So, we just try to be as good as we can be and build on down the road for Conference USA.
We'll open up for questions. Maybe talk about having CJ back and what he'll do for your rotations.
Well, I mean, obviously he's a starter, and we already got 3 starters for 3 positions, and he's a starter. So, obviously going to make us stronger. We can do better rotations, get some people on the bench a little bit more, and to rest them some during games. And I expect a lot out of CJ. So, we've it should just make us a lot stronger. As soon as we get a little rhythm, we get all our people back that play, we get a little rhythm with them back in the lineups, then I think you're going to see a really strong finish for us this season.
CJ played pretty well today, but that was kind of expected. What else does he need to do before you guys shift these programs?
Just keep going to class.
There's no class.
That's about it. Listen, CJ's going to be fine. CJ is, as soon as he gets his time, it's hard to set like you have to set. And, and I don't practice him with the first group. He's practicing with the guys that don't get as many minutes. So then to step right back on the floor, this was a good game for him to do it. It'll, the next 2 are going to be really difficult. So he'll have to turn it. But he's strong. He's really quick. He's great to go into the basket. Got great finishing around the rim. So I expect big things, and I'm sure he'll deliver.
Ryan and Terrence, could they have gone tonight if needed?
No.
If it was a conference game?
No.
They still
I looked at Ryan's. He had a lot of swelling in his calf. It's down. He said he feels better, and he thinks he's pretty sure he'll go against Cincinnati. You do with Terrence with the stomach muscle. We thought he was going to be back in 2 weeks, but he's really looking at it tomorrow with the doctors. When they first told me, well, he's got a stomach, strain or tear or slight. I don't know the medical terms for it, but I do know that when people get hurt in the stomach area, that I was expecting 2 months, 3, sometimes a season. Those aren't easy injuries to come by. Now, our doctor's still confident that he's going to be back, and he says he just gets it when he really jumps or turns it on running full blast. So just have to wait and see. It'll be a week-to-week, game-to-game type of injury. So, my suggestion is just wait till you're 100% and then go.
You talked about the schedule. We got a couple of big ones coming up.
Well, Cincinnati, it's all going to be about can we score. And that's funny you talked to us about that. But defensively, they are really good, and they're long and they're athletic. If we can move the ball and get it going good and find places and get our shots, and we're knocking them down, then we can make a real good ball game out of it, and we'll see what happens. If Alex keeps getting a little better, I looked at his stat sheet, and if you read this off, 19 minutes of play, he was 6 of 9, 1 of 2 from threes, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, did have 3 turnovers, which is too many, 2 block shots, and 3 steals. You'd say, boy, that was a heck of a game. But it wasn't, because he's better than that. And he is yet, but he is a redshirt sophomore. He could really this thing on if he would just do a couple of little things, and I think he will. I just think he's learning to play as a 6'7" player. He grew up playing as a 180-pound, 6'3" point guard, and now he's learning how to play four and how to power up inside. Sometimes he gets caught and he gets little instead of big. And if we can conquer that, then I think you're going to see a really an outstanding player.
Can you talk about Millen's performance? It seems like he gets tougher.
Who, Millen?
Well,
You know,
Curry, the real highlight today.
You know, to be honest with you, again, his stats look good. 3 of 5, 1 of 1 from three-pointer. He dunked the ball the last game, which that was almost as big as a three-pointer when he first got here. You know what? You know, it's like in life. You know, if you got a guy that comes to work every day, puts his head down, he's determined to be a part of something. I've seen them start out bad in high school. I'd see them where they couldn't play dead in the parking lot. But some way those guys, you count them out, and they just don't quit. They just keep coming. And the next thing I know, they find themselves on the court somehow, contributing. And he's just one of those guys. Now, he's got some work to do. Sometimes I look at him, I'm going, oh. But you know what? You got to love coaching a kid like that. He's just a tough hombre that puts his shoes on and comes to work every day. And he'll keep getting better. I don't know where that'll go and how much time when you get the other guys back, but he certainly has helped us hold ground a little bit while they're gone.
Couple more questions. All things considered, that this was what you needed at this time?
What's that? I don't know what you need. I'll tell you what I need. I need a steak. But you know, I know what you're saying because I hear every they all go like this. But you know, I don't know what coach. I know they have answers. Sometimes I wonder about their answers because I don't have answers. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. You know, all I know is that, you know, we got CJ on the floor. That was important. And we got a chance for him to knock off some of the rust because he's going to have, and it's going to take him a few more games. Other than that, you know, I'm not sure. I'm glad we won. Don't get me wrong, because this is one of those games you can't win by enough. If you beat them by a little bit, they win. And if you lose, the end of the world happens. So, you know, it's one of those games during final week, which makes it even worse because your schedules of practice. We've had Kyrie's been out 2 or 3 practices. All of them have been out. Luke didn't practice a couple times. They've all been out in final week, and we'd have 11 players, and it throws off a rhythm, a team chemistry and a rhythm in your practice coming into games. So you're hoping you get through here. And we're the type of team, we're a skilled team that requires coordination and rhythm from everybody. We're not a physically dominant team. So if you don't have all that, just that chemistry and the ball movement and everybody clicking on their skill levels, anybody can play with us. When I was in, they had a 1-on-1, 2-on-2 contest. It was 6 foot, Buddy Rogers did it. It was 6 foot and anybody over. So Russell Lee and his brother ran it. Randy Nolan, Pat Brady ran it. Mike and myself were a team. And the toughest game we had wasn't those two, Doug. It was 2 guys that played here on the intramurals. And we had to fight like a dog to win that daggone 2-on-2. So, you know, it's just when you're not physically a dominant team, if you don't have all the things going and the cylinders aren't clicking, that ball, you're not using your skills and your chemistry, anybody can play with you. And we didn't have it all going tonight. And this team gave us a good run. They're well coached. Good old West Virginia kid. Great for a West Virginia school. And, you know, it's just kind of the way it is. Like I said, we couldn't beat them bad enough. If it's close, they win. We kind of straddled the line there. You know, we went kind of, they can't really consider it a win, and we can't go away saying we crushed them. So it's probably a good win for both of us.